about the cloud is that instead of seeing more innovation, new PCs, new phones, new TVs, one of the myths of the cloud is that all computing is going to be re-centralized in these big data centers, which we can't touch and see and control. In the scenario I just went through, in terms of the match between Thailand and Vietnam, you're going to have a smart TV with a smart camera that recognizes you and your actions and what you're doing. The cloud will want smarter and smarter devices, but it wants new innovations and new ideas and new applications that not only run in the data, but empower individuals in their own lives. And we'll see the birth of a whole new generation of PCs, of phones, and TVs. Last but certainly not least, the cloud is going to drive an amazing set of innovations in terms of how we think about servers and data centers, the hardware and the software. And in turn, what we will see is the world will evolve from thinking about the cloud as a public service that's only out by Microsoft and Google and the guys we compete with, to the cloud being something that any customer can buy. A box, it's the cloud. I'll come visit the Hanoi University of Technology, and there'll literally be a physical container. It'll have storage and networking and compute capability. It'll have a next generation of our Windows software that we call Windows Azure running inside of it. It'll participate with other such clouds everywhere on the planet. And it'll let you build a new style of application that scales out, that fails over, that gets backed up automatically and simply. So the cloud will drive the way we think about software and hardware for the server and the client. So there'll be a lot of innovation in the cloud, in the way we think about it in terms of communication, learning, collaboration, science, and the way we think about the data centers, the PCs, the phones, and the TVs that come together in the cloud. So while it still may not be possible for you to go home right now and describe to your parents what the cloud is, I hope the cloud is going to be a source of jobs for me as I graduate from university and I go out in the world. A place where you'll be able to create and innovate and add value and make a living for yourselves as you go forward into the economy at large. I was talking to one of our partners today who has a 78-year-old father. And his father called him and asked, "What is the cloud?" And he said it's kind of the equivalent of the electric utility, only for computer science and IT people. I'm not sure that's the perfect analogy, but it's pretty good. It's the new tool that we will use to power amazing applications and amazing innovations at home and at work, in front of you and in the cloud, in Vietnam and around the world. Certainly at Microsoft, we're very to this next generation of computing, to inventing it, to popularizing it. We like to say, when it comes to the cloud, we're all in. We're very committed, and we're very committed specifically to working with companies and individuals and students here in Vietnam to make sure that this country is on the leading edge of adopting this next new phenomenal opportunity that is coming in computer science. So I'm very happy to have a chance to be here today. Apparently, I only get a chance to take a couple of questions just because of time and schedule. If you have questions that we can't get to, my email address is steveb@microsoft.com. I'd look for your questions electronically if I can't take them today. but apparently we had a couple questions come in advance. So I will take those here in a minute, and I'll look forward to other questions on email. So I say thank you, and I'll just pause for a minute here before we take questions. Appreciate it. Question number one. I always hate taking questions that were written in advance. It makes it look like they're not real questions. So I do encourage you to send email. But the first question, which came in from the audience, could you please tell us what are the differences of the Microsoft Cloud platform and development tools which can provide developers the best opportunities to be creative? If you're creating an application today, amongst your biggest challenges is actually getting that application distributed and implemented in the data center. A large part of what we've all dealt with over the last 10 and 20 years is the problem not just of writing an application, but getting it deployed in a data center and getting it distributed around the world. Our cloud platform, Azure, and our development tools, Visual Studio, if we do our job right in the next 2 or 3 years, we'll make that automatic for you anywhere on the planet. Question number two. What are your advice for Hana University of Science and Technology students to learn and prepare for cloud-based application development with Microsoft Cloud Computing? I'd encourage you all to download, you can do this, download our Visual Studio development tools under our DreamSpark program. Those are available to you free of charge. What we are going to do is just continue to extend our Visual Studio tool set to make it easier and easier to write an application that can get managed and deployed in the cloud. And I talked to our team today about special programs to help stimulate and encourage students here in Vietnam to be able to take advantage of and experiment with the cloud. So I hope we'll have something to announce there for you soon. With that, this monitor says time is up. I guess that means I'm done. It's been all too short today. I appreciate your time. I appreciate your enthusiastic reception. I appreciate the fact that we've got some of the best computer science students in the world here. The last 2 years, we run a global programming called the Imagine Cup. In the last 2 years, the winners for Vietnam have come from the Hanoi University of Technology. So I'm glad to be here. Congratulations, and all the best to you. Thank you.
Thanks, Steve. Can you keep a moment in the stage? I would like to introduce Professor Dr. Ha Duyên Tư and leaders and representative of students of Hanoi University will very warmly deliver the thanks flower to Steve and take a photo subscribe.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Dear Steve, on behalf of Hanoi University Technology students and the teachers, thank you so much for very, very interesting talk today.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much on behalf of students who are first admire success Microsoft Corporation.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Wish you success in Vietnam.
Thanks very much. Thank you. Pleasure.
Thanks, Steve. Thanks, Mr. Tư, and thank everybody. And once thanks all the students of Hanoi University. Thank you very much.
Thanks. Good luck.
Thank you very much.
Not my best.